Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome in. How are we? How is the weekend going? Hello. If you missed it, we went live yesterday, played a new game. We'll play it again here soon. We'll find a day. It's called Grain Rot. Super polished. Super polished. Very, very nice looking game. We're definitely going to try more of that for sure. Cap Zero, thank you for the 16 months, dude. Blackbeak, thank you for the 8. Phasmo Girl, welcome back. Hello. Hello, hello. What's up, Hayes, Fox, Bloops? Good to see you, friend. J-Mox, Crow, Jack, Truthful, Mama Bear, hello. Oh my goodness. Faz for the day. We'll see what we're gonna get into. I have a couple ideas. Got a couple ideas. We're going solo today, so we'll see how it goes. I see another growth. Yeah, there was an IOU. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. Each time I get one, and then we have an IOU that has to go to the next one. I'm like, son of a bitch. It's a guaranteed. It's not even like, ooh, there's a chance I won't have to. No, it is a requirement. It's like, damn it. Damn it. But it's okay. Hey, what's up, Cass? Isn't that such a great emote? It was Blondie's brainchild to do that whole idea. And then Nyx helped with some of the design stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do a ranch soda. You hush. Nobody asked you. Shush. Laurat, good to see you. Hello. Shell, thank you for the 22 months. Fox, thank you for the 19. Hello. It looks great. I love it. Yeah, it's great. It is great. 6 foot, 43 months. Are you happy, man? I'm good, dude. How the heck are you? Damn. Holy hell, 6 foot. What's up, Liam? I am having a good day, man. How's yours? Been lots of hanging out with fam time this weekend. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's a long time, dude. You've been drinking. I know, because it doesn't stop. It doesn't end. I know. Unfortunately, it is what it is. What's up, Shrill? Mr. 420, hi, friendo. What's up, Trisha? But it's okay. It's fine. We'll deal. Are we starting with it? Yes. Yeah, I'm going to open Phasmo, and that's literally, we're just going to get it out of it. We're just going to do it. There's no point waiting. We might as well get it over with. Oh, the fam is good. Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good. What is gross soda? Soda that is gross. I hope that helps. Moonshine, thank you for the 10 months. But yeah, we're good. We're good. Our normal for Sundays has been pretty typical with a Doc hangout, which it's not going to happen today. Doc is hanging with a little that has a birthday, so no Doc today. Night, good to see you, friend. So we'll give him a pass on this one. Whatever, it's fine. Oh, I love my children. I celebrate their birthdays, whatever. Maston, I swear to God. No special guest. No, we're doing solo. Nope, we're doing solo today. Kids' birthdays. Oops, I did it again. Okay. How dare he pay attention? Yeah. The shirt graphic? Oh, it's the freestyle flash team.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Ready for you.
Always family first, always. Always. That man knows he could tell me that he has any. It doesn't matter what he tells me. He says he has something going on. He's a busy man. He's a busy man. All right. Well, we played last night. So we did get some games in recently, which is nice. I know, watch. Now that we're not playing with him, I'm going to get a Blood Moon. It's for sure going to happen. Cousin Tony, hello. Yeah. That's inevitable. Got the new Ghost for the first time in solo. Nice. One of the things I thought about doing today, because we get asked pretty frequently questions from brand new players, which is a really good thing, because that just means that there are constantly more people finding this game or just now starting to play it. I thought one of the things we could do today was to play a game as if I just started. Like if I just started playing the game, what would I do? How would I go about playing the game? How would I learn the different ghosts? Would I even worry about that when I'm just now starting? So I think we might do a game like that. Yeah, there's just, on the occasion, we get a lot of questions about something, or there's a lot of interest about one certain thing. And it's a good idea to cater that. So that way people can get informations. Yeah, help out the new peeps. Because the last time I did like a new player video was probably last year, if not longer than that. Haven't seen the blue cheese soda? It's very blue. It's very blue. You do tier 1 full? Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I will be doing tier 1. Oh, for sure. Tier 1, starter items only, not adding anything else, and then going through there. Like a beginner's guide, yes, but what it is not going to be is it's not going to be a super like YouTube cut video of like showing all these different things. How do you add items? How do you do this? How do you do this? More like you're about to go into the game, you're about to play a match. What do you do? That kind of thing. My survival guide. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, one of the things that I get asked a lot is if I just started playing, what is the one thing I would worry about? I get asked that a lot, and I always say it's about survival. Someone's like, yeah, but what about sanity? Shouldn't you be talking about that, or shouldn't you be talking about this? I'm like, yeah, but if you don't know how to survive in those situations, it doesn't matter what your sanity is. If you have a ghost that hunts you early and you have not learned what hiding spots are and how to survive, you're gonna die anyway. Gonna play amateur? Absolutely. Yes. Hi, Mr. Song. Jenny, thank you for the 7 months. Ray, thank you for the biddies. Thank you. I actually hope you don't get, I also hope that I don't get it. Yeah, I'm with Nix on this one. Yeah, where's your soda dealer? Amazon or whoever sends stuff. Yeah, that's who. Yeah, the guide to survival, man. I need to take these mugs upstairs. Oh my God. Hi, Karumba. What's up, Abra? How are you, friend? Alpha, good to see you. What's up, Junie? Hello, friend. So glad I found the content. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. How long have I been playing? I've been playing consistently since 2021. I think that's the best way to word it. Did you get the golden foil hat? Oh, I need to check my notifications. I might have, I might not have, Night. Yeah, when my phone was being stupid yesterday, when I was trying to watch someone playing to earn it, I might not have earned it yet. So I'll pull up a grain rot stream today just to make sure. Yeah, my phone was being dumb. It like froze up on me, so I had to like refresh Twitch. So we'll see. Are you using an alt account? No. We won't use an alt account. I'm not gonna do it like a new player experience where it's all the maps are locked and all this and all this. There's no need for all that. No. Do the tutorial. No, I don't think there's a need to do the training tutorial because I feel like that's something you have to go through yourself. We've done it just to see what it was like, but I always tell people that they should try the tutorial just to understand what's happening in the game, how to use different pieces of equipment. That shows you a lot. Me doing that, I feel like it's not as good as you doing it yourself. It's not as tangible. We had a bat fly into our house last night. F that. They need to fix up the tutorial. In my opinion, it should be completely different than what it is right now. That's my opinion. Have you ever maxed out your main account? That's literally going to be impossible because to max out your main account, you have to be prestige 4,000, level 9,999, which would take over 20 years IRL time to do. So yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. Opie, hello. All right, let's just get it on the screen and get it over with. Hey. If the economy in this game was IRL, ghost hunters are underpaid by far. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good point. In the rough flash right now. I just want to say the Fascinator vids really helped me through some of the Timeless Dragon. I hope things get better. I'm glad that the vids and the streams can be a little bit of light in said darkness, friend. I appreciate you. You got this. Thanks. A doc said that their kiddo got all the presents. He said that they got all the presents. So I don't know if he called me a brat or his child a brat. I'm not really sure. Hard to say. Told my friend to skip the tutorial, just play with me because tutorial was awful. I think the tutorial is like fine and that you do learn stuff from it as a new player. But I think that the actual tutorial itself should be a walkthrough of an actual investigation. He probably meant both. Probably me. Yeah, he probably meant both. Me seriously, kids jokingly. Yeah. Ray-Ban, hello, friend. I am doing well. How are you? Can I get the badge for Phasmo with this stream? What badge? What are you talking about? I got thrown into the deep. I also got thrown into the deep end. I thought the original idea of the tutorial being one where you go into the map and you actually like play through, and it was a PowerPoint presentation that was on a TV basically. But this one, you have a walkthrough, which is nice. I still think it should be some sort of a voice telling you like, go check this room. Hey, get the EMF reader out. Oh, we have EMF 5. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, it should be as if you have a really helpful friend that is walking you through an investigation, but they're all set scenarios. So that way it can be nice, tailored, and I don't know, involved. It used to be in Tanglewood, it did, but you did everything yourself. There was a TV that told you everything, and you had to flip through the TV, like I said, like it was like a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah. Yeah. Hands-on experience. Right, then just a tool explanation. Exactly. Right. All right. I don't even know which ones I have anymore at this point. I'm not even sure. We're just going to go for it, man. I don't know. Give me a second. Let's spin this, and then that way we can get into the games. I'll start with like a nightmare or something like that, and then we'll do an amateur run. Guaranteed, we're gonna do an amateur run and treat it like we are hunting for the first time. Like, treat it like I'm walking with someone, giving them advice on what to do for their first investigation. We're gonna try that. We don't mention PowerPoint. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Have to act scared? No, that's not helpful. If I'm with somebody, me acting scared does not help them very much. No, I think I already drank the black olive. I just haven't updated the wheel. I think the black olive's already gone. The more you avoid it, the more like, I know, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Went through the Tanglewood preview after the first Spirit Box update. The ghost whispered behind you, and I spent the next 5 minutes hiding in the van. I was an experienced player. If you especially are used to running with other people too, when you get those solo games, dude, I don't know. It's a brand new feeling, and it's rough to like force yourself to go into the house. It's hard. Hey, Coffee Kitty, good to see you. Leaf, thank you so much for the gifted, man. And Junie, thank you. All right. If I don't have whatever this is, then we'll spin it again. I don't know. Do I have that? Well, damn it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't have that. We just drank. I'm going to redo the wheel. Give me a second. Let's update this so that it's correct. I don't want to sit here and respin 500 times. All right, so I know black olive is gone. Bacon is gone. That is gone. Oh, it's so unfortunate. I've got 1, 2, 5, 6. I should have, what do I have? I've got enchilada, pumpkin pie, PB. I think I have, corn. Right? Yeah, ranch, corn, enchilada, pumpkin pie, blue cheese, PB&J. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. All right, let me share this and we'll be good to go. No, stop it. No, stop. Continue, I guess. I don't know. Continue. Get rid of that. Update this. There we go. All right, I fixed it. All right. Now we're guaranteed no doubles. Now we're guaranteed. Any advice on learning to hide from the ghost during hunts better? How not to die as much? How to hide from the ghost during hunts better? Well, do you have hiding spots? Oh yeah, it sucks. Oh yeah. Inevitable. Yeah, the last two mod choices were mares, and Mare chose Grow Soda on both. So this whole idea of the mods being very equal, kind of not going so well anymore, and I don't think it's necessarily true anymore. But sorry, thank you for the 11 months, man. Okay. Oh, fuck. It's listen, this was dwindling down. It's inevitable. We still dodged the blue cheese. Oh my God. Okay. Let's do it. No, we're not burning time today. We're just doing it. Old reliable. Yeah, reliable. Yeah, sure. Let's use those words. One of these days, Alice? Yeah, one of these days. Where's the... There it is. I know, one day it's inevitable. I know. Unless I buy even more sodas, and that way it's less chance. That way it's less of a chance. So far, I have not had the blue cheese. I don't know what it tastes like, but this is the worst one by far, so far. I do have good sodas, but like, I don't know. I don't think people want to see that. I hope we get another mod's choice. How dare you? How? Oh, son of a... These bottle caps, the tops are not the best. I mean, I'm sure that it's not meant for quality necessarily. Sugar Cat, thank you for the 8 months. I'm not even gonna smell it. Nope. Nope. I've got coffee beside me, ready to rock. Ready to go. Chug, chug, chug. Yeah. Even that mod's choice, the mods will get with it. I know. I know. Karma's a bitch, and I didn't even do anything wrong. Great chaser. It's a strong one. I need it. Okay. Game on. Ugh. Trash can nearby? Hold on. All right, I took the lid off the trash can just in case. All right, we're good. Oh, that's the fucking worst. Oh, I gotta get the smell. Hold on. Oh, I can smell it, dude. Oh, like after chugging it, it's just a nonstop smell. I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out. We're fine. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Right. Ugh. Last time you had to brush your teeth with how bad it is. Oh, I'm still gonna need to. It doesn't sound like a good combination. If I can get the smell of coffee overpowering, then that's way better. That's way better. I'm gargling coffee. Damn right. Oh no. I'm trying not to like burp. Okay. Ugh. Imagine drinking that warm. Oh, hell no. Okay. We're all clear. I can't stand the smell. I like ranch in general. I don't eat it very often though. Definitely not one that I eat very often. Why are you streaming so early today? Because it's my schedule? I need to check something real fast. I do need to check something real fast. Flash chose violence is after. What do you mean I chose violence? What did I do? I just work here, dude. All right, I'm gonna test something on the YouTube side today, and we're gonna see how this goes. This, it's either gonna go well or it's not. I don't know. If it doesn't go well, if it's causing hiccups in the gameplay, then we will adjust and change and get rid of stuff. But we will see. Hey, what's up, Rorson? I'm good. How are you? Hold on. I need to go back to a message. Hold, please. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. That's the same guy that asked me if I played anything other than Phasmophobia while I was playing a different game. I thought so. I thought so. I'm having an issue with it on Stream Elements plugin. Really? I use Atom. I use Atom. Hi, Rose. Welcome back. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, some interesting questions from them. I thought so. All right, let me get rid of this. I need to double check and see how that's going. It should be okay. There we go. Onyx, thank you for the follow. Top, thank you so much for the 5 months. Tier 2, dude. Is it gonna be a YouTube video? Oh, I don't know. I don't always know if something's gonna be a YouTube video. It's really hard to say. It just depends. If I plan something, that's one thing, but if I'm just doing general gameplay, there's a possibility that I don't make a video out of it. It's hard to say. Oh, taste that. Let's see. Why don't I see those messages? I'm not seeing the YouTube messages in my multi-chat, and I don't understand why. Have you done them? Oh, the mustard one? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely have. What's up, FNAF? Tiny, welcome in, dude. How are you? I'm just, I'm checking things and stuff, man. Trying to see what's going on. Something's being a little weird. Once I figure it out, then we will continue. Have I tried? If it's one from Lester Fixes, I can almost guarantee that I've tried it. Can almost guarantee it. All right, there's that. There's that. It's not showing up, dude. It's so weird. I don't get it. What's up, Chompy? Good to see you. How are you? Steffi, hello. All right, might have to do the old turn it off, turn it back on again. What up, controller? Yeah, what I'm trying to do, just to give you a heads up what I'm doing, I'm trying to do the vertical slash horizontal at the same time, and I don't think it's even working. I literally have both going at the same time. Yeah, I see them both. What the hell? Hey, what's up, Arrogant? Good to see you. How's it going? Had a lazy ride you today on Willow? Sucks. Did you ever get any answers to help with... What? What? I'm very confused now. With your what situation? I also do not know. Or I don't remember, that's for damn sure. I got nothing, dude. Okay. So what doesn't make sense is I can literally see the vertical and also that. Why doesn't it show when I go to my page? I'm okay. Found out today that you're gonna be an auntie. Let's go. That's freaking awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Do hiding spots in a room count for aging a Thay? As long as you're near the ghost, it doesn't matter if you're in a hiding spot or not. Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as you're near the ghost, even if the ghost is hunting, you can age the ghost. I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense. What's up, Jay? Good to see you. Halogen, hello. Yeah, it's not showing up. And okay, well, I might need to turn off and back on the YouTube stream, because if I can't see the vertical thing of it, then there's no point in doing it. Then there is a no point. What's the plan for today? Well, we're going to start out with probably a couple of nightmares. And then after that, we might do like a sort of like a new player walkthrough. All the technology. No, it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. But they'd be like, those people make me old. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to see it on my end and I can't see it. So it doesn't make sense. North Shore, thank you for the 33 months, homie. Welcome back. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I get to figure that out. So YouTube side, I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to literally turn it off and turn it back on again. Because if it's not actually working the way it's intended, I am encoding a stream that doesn't need to be encoded. So, BRB. It's shy. What, the ghosty? Hey, Disciple, good to see you. All right, well, we're going to save that for another day because obviously that's not working the way that we want it to. Oh, the YouTube is shy because of the issues. Oh, yeah. Silly. But inevitably what I was doing was I have my own vertical that's being encoded at the same time as a horizontal, which is great that they allow that now. However, I had no way to actually monitor the vertical side. So it's like, okay, well, this is stupid. There's no point in encoding it if I can't see it, and I don't think anyone else can see it. What the hell's going on? So that's dumb. So let's try this again. That's all right. It's just fun issues to try to work through. It's fine. We'll try that again on another day. I'll have to go back and delete that stream though, because it's worthless. What's up, Rob? Good to see you. What was my favorite game to play growing up? Mario 64. All right. All right. Whatevs, dude. It's fine. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Although I do need to still figure out if they're coming through on the multi-chat side. What's up, Lodge? Good to see you. Yeah. Everything's falling apart, man. It's all falling apart. I appreciate your patience while I try to figure out what the hell is going on. You're supposed to sip that soda, not chug? No, we don't sip those sodas. We don't sip those sodas. We just go full send. No. Hey, Monkey, thank you for the prime, man. I appreciate you, bud. Thank you. Let me go to... This has now become a troubleshooting stream, which is a blast. What the f... Okay, let me... Hold on. Let me get rid of them all. I literally see it in this other chat. Like, what? I literally see it. Legend! Thank you so much for the jewels, dude. All right, let's try this again. What the French? Tech time with Flash? I guess so. Yeah. Trying to solve our problems here. There we go. Like, I did nothing. I didn't change anything. Why do I see it now? Ay, ay, ay. Zeno, what's up, man? God damn it. All right, YouTube. Well, I can see you now. I'm sorry. I don't get it, dude. Because tech messes with us? I guess so. What the? What the? I don't understand. Yeah, you guys can see each other in the chat. You see each other over there? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, Carumba. Internet being weird? I don't think it's the internet. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I can tell. I don't know. It's true. If you're not having tech issues, it's not a real stream. But okay. Well, the chat's working. I wanted to be able to, I don't like the idea of having the chat talking and I can't talk back. So fixed it. All right, that's fine. Good deal. Unless you have one issue mysteriously popping up. That's correct. All right. Well, hello, friends. Hi. Now we're actually going to do stuff. Yay. That's fun. Hey, Roman. I'm good, dude. How are you? Good to see you. All right. So we'll start off the day with just a nice chill nightmare. And then maybe after one or two of those, what we're going to do is we'll do a nice, like, new player walkthrough sort of thing where what I'll do is I will treat the game in the way that I feel like I would tell somebody that's brand new to the game how to play. So we'll do Tanglewood and I'll walk through with brand new, like not a brand new account, but I'll just do starter items only, tier 1, and we will go through the map and try our best with what we have. And I'm going to get hunted by a demon and die instantly, which is going to be very sad. Your ghosts have had no chill, and that's what I'm saying. All right. Maybe we start on random, though. Maybe that's what we do. What's up, Mads? Good to see you. All right. Public lobbies? No. Hey, what's up, Tigger? Welcome in. Good to see you. How do you get the badge you have? The only way you could have gotten this is if you would have been watching the showcase. I forget the Galaxy's whatever showcase. I forget what it's called. Hold on. My game feel like I'll have to check on stuff. Any estimate how many hours you have in Fast? Probably like 4K. If I was a betting man. The Galaxy's Twitch live stream. It was in April. Yeah. There it is. It was called like the Galaxy Showcase. It's where they showcased a bunch of games and they also showed off one of the Phasmo updates that was coming out at that time. Yes, sir. That was the only time that you could have earned this badge was by watching during that showcase, and that was it. So it's just it's a cool way for them to honor people that have been in the game for X amount of time or were paying attention when certain things were coming out. So it was cool. I dig it. I dig it. Went hunting this morning, making some, oh, very nice. That's when they announced the Alan Wake event. Yeah. Yeah, and they always announce that stuff on their socials. So if you're wondering like, well, how do I even hear about it? Go join their Discord, follow all their socials. That they announce everything with plenty of time to know that it's coming. For sure. Yeah. All right, let's start off with a random nightmare just to get the ball rolling, and then we'll look at the new player game stuff. Tone. Have I done the Ghost in the Machine Easter egg? Yes. Yeah, correct. Yeah, thank you, Song. Is especially if I'm involved in something, I will typically announce it. I will typically announce it in my server as well, especially if I'm involved. I just wish that they had given a little longer than 2 hours. They did give it longer than 2 hours. Yeah, they gave it like 4 hours because there was like there was a certain amount of time after the event where it continued as well. Yeah. If you die, will you do the blue cheese soda? No, that's not how this works. If my stomach is feeling okay and we just so happen to get another one, I might do it today. We will see. Usually sleep for 8 hours. I can't tell you the last time I slept for 8 hours. A long time. Yeah. They had like a Q&A. They did. Yeah, and you were still able to earn it. Yeah. Don't tell chat. I also think it was only 30 minutes watching. Yeah, it was a very you didn't have to watch for like, you didn't have to watch for 2 hours or anything like that. Yeah. 4 to 5 hours. That's kind of me too. Yeah, same Z's. Man, they need to fix the lighting in the truck in Grafton. It's just weird. It's weird. Yeah, it was like 30 minutes. That was it. And there was also not just their live stream. It was many live streams. Anybody that was co-streaming that thing was also giving away that badge. Yeah, 14 times difficulty is rough for me. Well, fair enough. It should be. All right, Shelly Cray at Grafton. We need to witness a ghost event, get 2 sounds, and escape the ghosting. So, let us get flashlight, thermo, EMF. Oh, it's beautiful outside. Go get the power, and then once we get the power, then we need to see what kind of hiding we have available. We will see. 7 hours school. 12 hours was the weekend. Jesus Christ, dude. That's called a code. All right. Power first. We'll leave the EMF on just in case it does something goofy. Just in case. Ah, it's upstairs. Dude, I think I need to like restart my PC at some point. It feels laggy. It feels laggy. Hold on. Let me make sure Discord is also... Discord can be a little heavy sometimes. Let me get rid of that. All right. Practice makes perfect. Oh. Practice makes something. They're still coming after me. All right. We got rats. We got a bone. No music box, no hiding in here. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. It's gonna be an Oni. What are you willing to bet that it will be an Oni? Very warm. Very warm, no sounds. Mirror. Ooh. We have hiding back over here. So this is a hiding spot. You come over that way. There we go. Who are you people with over 4 hours of sleep? I've heard nothing. Maybe it's downstairs. It's gonna be a Dio. I would not be upset if it was a Dio. Oh, happy day. Please. And also thank you. Well, I guess we have no ghost. Let's go home. What the? Get some lights on in this piece. All right, it's gonna be literally the last room I check. Oh, are you in the attic? It is the only room that I have not checked the temperature of. Well, I'm gonna go take sanity and then we'll go up to the attic. It feels like the top of Point Hope. It does give off a vibe like you're going all the way up top. Oh, maybe it's me. Oh no. What is that? What is that movie called? The Others? Is it The Others? Let's bring a crucifix, a video camera, since we almost can guarantee that it's up there. And Dootskis. I bet. Are you sure you went to the right address? I don't know. It might be in that barn. Last Odin, good to see you, friend. How are you? If you hunt me, I'm gonna cry. Just a smidge. Mother frick. Oh, look, an orb. singing event. Translucent. Good to know. Little upchuckery happening here. Let's do that, and let's go get more stuff. We're gonna go check the cams while we're there too. Last Odin, thank you for the 32 months, man. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Attic. Wow, who'd have thunk it? Crazy. That's your first time going up there? Oh man. It's definitely worth checking out all the maps to understand what you're possibly getting into. For sure. Okay, well, I mean, it is a female ghost. We had a singing ghost event. Banshee possibility. Let us see. Tigger, thank you for the sub, dude. Welcome in. I freaking appreciate that, homie. Thank you. Would love a Banshee. I don't mind Banshees. I wish I got more Banshees in multiplayer, though. I feel like I don't get them in multiplayer like ever. Wow. So we're just a piece of garbage, huh? Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? Huh? You like that? I'll move it myself. You jerk. I need to get... Okay, I can still see dots from here. Suck it. Hey, Coco. Good to see you. Thought it was a wise guy. Thought it was a wise guy. That's a thing. Yeah, there's some sort of bug right now where when the ghost throws the video camera off of the tripod, the tier 3, you can still move it around. Yeah, they shouldn't be ripping the camera off the tripod. What is this wizard? What is this wizardry? Hi, caramba. Hey, Phil, thank you for the 6 months, man. Thank you. Not a bug, it's a feature. I'm cool with this feature. This is a funny feature. Here, we'll do this. Watch. It goes on its side. I can almost go downstairs. Oh, look, a guitar. Hold on, here. It might turn us. Oh, 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 oh. We're going up. Oh. Hold on. Is that any better? I mean, a little bit. I mean, not great, but it'll do, pig. It'll do. Yeah, so like if I do, oh, I don't know if it won't, it will stop panning. Wait, will it? Hold on. Yeah, when I walk away, it stops. That's sad. Tokyo drift cams, yeah. All right, give me this, give me this, give me this. Let's go. I'm actually... We're going to wait on this. I'm going to bring this instead. Let's do that. Doom donuts in the attic. Damn right. Damn right. Banana, thank you for the super chat, man. How's it going? It's going well, friend. How are you? I wonder what the view of the camera moving. It's literally... I'm pretty sure it's just the camera moving around on the floor. Yeah. If you are witnessing it while someone else is doing it. Any instant sounds when we go up here? So yeah, look. Oh my god. Ay caramba. Damn. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? I need this back on here, please. Oh my god. You are heinous. It keeps doing stuff on the stairs. Okay. Did I leave the Ouija board's up here? I didn't even see that. What's up, Brad? Put that over there. Put that there. Did I leave my Dude, I'm getting lagged. What the hell? She aggressive? She is a little aggressive. Metallicro, thank you so much for the subs, man. Thank you. Oh, I threw it at the door because we checked every other room. That's right. Gosh dang it. Behave yourself, Ghosty. Behave. Behave. Give me more. Like, does he have a car? All right, give me that. Give me a smudge. Do I really want that right now? Maybe not. I need, you know what? Actually, lies. I want this. This thing's moving around like crazy. No, I haven't checked the temps in the attic. No. No, we're going to get there, though. Deadfire, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. No. And also possible EMFer. What up, Goober? Doing well, man. How are you? Shed some light on this situation. Freezing temps. Whale, whale, whale. Oh, now you throw the book, you a-hole. Rev, Hantu, Onryo, Ure. Let's keep that smudge on us just in case. A little cold. It's a tidbit nibbly. You hate the crunch of the... Oh, we all hate the crunch of the pills. Oh, yeah. The crunch of the pills suck. And, yeah. Having a Ure is not fun when you have a room that literally has 0 doors. That's, not great. Not great. Give me the boner jam. Oh my god. What was it? Ouija board. Freezing temps. Ghosty options. Hantu, Onryo, Revi, or Ure. Now, I didn't bring a lantern. Can we do the poor man's Onryo test? Is that possible, Ghosty? You're not walking around here, which is a little bit concerning. Hello, son. Hi, Dad. Did you bring back the milk? Hello? Mimics, it's possible. Yeah, I mean, I haven't checked for UV technically. So it could be. Katie, thank you for the follow. Ryu, thank you for the biddies. Thank you, thank you. Fine, fine. We'll go get more stuff. All right, let's go get UV and make sure we don't have a mimic. No, we're not going to hear much door action. There's no doors for it to actually touch. Unfortunately, it being in the attic, yes, I can still check for UV, but I can't check for Ure slams. That ain't going to happen. But if I bring this and I bring this, that should be good. It's still in the attic, so that's okay. Hi, caramba. Hi, caramba. Thank y'all for the freaking treasure train. Thank you, friends. Thank you for the subs and the biddies. Any issues with shades recently? Other than them just being the type of ghost that they normally are? No. Shades are shades. They just suck. Go in there. Go in there. Go in there. I still see my breath. So that should be okay. Ghosty. Want to know how not to get scared with solo. First time I played, Vented scared me. Hunted, I passed out. My mom had to come get me. If you're literally passing out from a game, you should not play the game anymore. Maybe, you know, call me crazy. But if you're literally causing yourself like a possible self-harm because a game scared you so much, I would highly recommend playing other games. Ghosty? Jemima, thank you for the 3 months. Fallen Angel, thank you for the biddies. Thank you, friends. Thank you, thank you. You prefer tier 2 salt, tier 3? Yeah, I like tier 2 because it doesn't slow the ghost down. I like the ghosty to be a constant speed. Yeah. No, but the second time it was chill. I would really, again, I'm not a health professional. I would suggest not playing. Maybe that's just me. Bunny, thank you for the 27 months. Ghosty. Tell you, it's not doing a lot. Possible Ure touches right here. It could maybe do it here. Unfortunately, I can't. I can't keep the door open. Well, I paid $20. Well, what's more important, $20 or your safety? Okay, that's rude. Yeah, I would contact Steam and say, hi, I'm having health issues with this game. I would like to refund it, please. Ghost, we're talking here. Okay, wow, lag. Holy shit. What is going on? Dad flash kicking in? Just, I mean, that's not even dad advice. That's just, I don't know, common sense, I guess. Like, you play the game, it scares you so much, you almost pass out, and like, your parent, like, someone has to literally come get you because you could have fallen over and like caused a lot of harm, and then you play again. I mean, that's not looking for advice. Ghost, you really suck. You know that? I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this guy and this guy. No, you get no toys. Your toys are gone. Have to play in bed or with, yeah, I mean, right, right. You have to play while somebody monitors you with while you're lying in bed with pillows surrounding you, I guess just to be safe, just to be sure that nothing bad happens. You son of a bitch. Even Faz even tells you on the loading screen to not play the game if you have health issues. Right. So if you're avoiding their warning and just playing, I mean, what the hell were you supposed to do? Safety belt on the gaming chair? No, yeah, I would just have someone monitoring you. But again, I would contact a health professional. This is really, it's almost silly to have to dive this deep into a conversation about almost passing out and almost hurting yourself playing a game, and then you go back and play the game again as if nothing happened. This is kind of goofball to have to talk this much about it. Yeah, weird. Just in the words of Doc, just don't. Just don't. Give me a smudge. Give me a smudge. Do I have 3? I do. Let's just make this stupid thing on. Actually, you know what? Give me 2. And we'll do this. This will be better. Does anyone know if the headgear tier 1 when turned on counts? Yes. Absolutely does. So if you are getting hunted by Ghosty, turn it off. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, doesn't matter. They are all considered electronic. So make sure that you turn them off if the Ghosty's hunting. If you're worried about being found. Yeah. Xavier, thank you so much, man. I do recommend not watching someone play and trying to do your nails at the same time, though. You will ruin your nail polish. See, that's fantastic advice. Love it. Do you have advice on the difference between a Yurei and a yokai on no evidence? Well, you tell me, what is the difference between a Yurei and a yokai? Oh, you sound so normal it hurts. Shaving your beard. Okay, listen. Don't shave your beard and play Phas at the same time. Okay, I guess that's good advice. Sure. Yeah, why not? All right. Let's step outside for a second. Snooze the ads. It's not a Revy. That's not a Hantu. Very unlikely a Hantu. We can get line of sight to make sure it speeds up. But then you're looking at either an Onryo or a Yurei. Fun. Rose, thank you for the lurk, friendo. Yeah. So what I could do about that is I could go take some firelights upstairs just to verify. You don't shave anyway. There you go. Fair enough. Look at that. Easy peasy. Prestige for the second time today and loving the challenge of tier 1 again. I think that's one of the main reasons that people do prestige, is literally just to challenge themselves. That's it. All right, now I do have a crucifix downstairs. I'm gonna have to put stuff back upstairs again and try this. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Drops? Nope. Nobody in Fast has drops. All right. Let me get... I'm gonna get the other crucifix too. When we first started playing Phas, it scared my friends so badly. You can only play for an hour before having to go to Minecraft to calm down. When you're especially not used to it, like, and I don't know, it's very unnerving to go into the house when you're not used to playing. Very unnerving to convince yourself, like, well, here we go. Hey, what's up, Rachie? Good to see you. I hate the challenge of tier 1 gear, but I must have the tier 9 purple shirt. Juju, thank you for the biddies. Sending this to say thanks for all you do, friend. Freaking awesome. I know. Don't need to make my day better. Oh, Juju, thank you so much, friend. Thank you. All right, we got another firelight. We got a crucifix in our hand. All right. What I'll probably end up doing, actually, I'll probably smudge on this one to buy us some time to get that stuff upstairs. I think that's the plan. That's why you stream yourself into your friend's Discord and then tap to them so you're alone, but not. Yeah, see, that's a good idea. Yeah. If you don't have the ability to, I don't know, if you don't have the ability to like stream and be talking to it like an entire chat, like another way you can do it and not feel alone, a Discord call is a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. It's so normal. Bastard. I still see breath here. There we go. Just bought myself 90 seconds. So we will now use that time to go get the rest of our stuff. Let us run. So we're doing an Onryo test right now because we're not exactly sure. I have no doors upstairs. 0 doors, really, to be able to check. General Gravy, thank you for the 22 months. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. We'll do 3 of them. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Yeah, we gotta figure out the lag too. I just don't know if that lag is happening because of, I don't know if that lag is happening. I was gonna get the other crucifix. I still have time. Because of my computer or because of the game? I've restarted it recently, so that doesn't make any sense. I just heard it blow out a firelight from here. There. That over there. Wow. Rude. Yes. Alright, let's see if we can get it to blow out a firelight twice in 20 seconds. That's our mission right now. What's up, Mamba? Good to see you. We are between an Onryo and a Yurei, and I'm in a room that has no doors. Come on. Careful, SpongeBob. We're trying. No, the one more blowout doesn't matter when you have more firelights lit. That's an Onryo. It just blew that same firelight out twice in like 2 seconds. Only the Onryo can blow out the same source twice within 20 seconds. Like less than 20 seconds. I lit it, it blew it out, and like I lit it again and it blew it out within 2 seconds. Yeah. That's an Onryo. So, what do I... Oh, I need 2 sounds. Oh, where's my... Wow, broski. Hey. Really? Oh, sorry. My bad. Wow. Oh, cool. That didn't record. Oh, that's so nice. What's a little odd, though, is that it ate that crucifix, which means it must have hunted from over there. It must have. Perfect, no bugs. I'm just trying to get objectives. Just getting objectives. All right, escape the ghost during the hunt. All right, give me this. Let's take this downstairs. Hold on. Yeah, it's so hard to tell if it's the game or if it's me. I can't really tell. All right. Now it should hunt. Put that on, put that on. Oh, you son of a bitch. Hiding. Hey, what's up, Loretta? There's Meemaw. Run, Meemaw, run! And that's it. Objectives. Got the ghosty. Let's get out of here. Ads keep trying to play, so I don't want them to play in the midst of us trying to get it. So let's go. Let's get out. Had the early, finally had the Yuri ability since the update. Oh, nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's get out of here. Do this. I'm gonna restart my game. I think that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully that'll fix whatever the hell is going on.
Welcome back.
Very chill door close, which is just weird. The Yuri ability should be something crazy. Well, there's the Onryo. Yes, you could do the 3 firelight blowout ability check, but getting the ghost to blow out the firelight twice within 20 is way more reliable. For sure. I can almost prestige again. Almost prestige. All right, let me restart the game. While I'm restarting the game, we're going to run ads.
Welcome back. Like prepared.
I think that's our plan. Hey, what's up, Dummerell? Good to see you. I should slam every door in the house. It should rock the hell out of the house. Do I always prestige at 100? No, because the last time I was level 100 and like, I don't know, 120, 130, maybe higher than that. And then I finally decided to prestige. All right, I'm doing 3 minutes of ads, friends. We do it and we wait in the lobby. We wait for all of our friendos, so I will go nowhere without you.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
All right, hopefully that fixed whatever the hell's going on. We will see. What is the quickest way to tell if you have a demon? Evidence. Walking into a house with 100 sanity and the ghost instantly hunting you, demon. Or yeah, it would be a demon because a mimic can't do it for a minute. So that would 100% be a demon. For sure. Miss Sammy, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. When do I decide? I don't know. I don't have like a plan written down of like, I will prestige when I get to the point of whenever I decide to. Hi, Millsy. I hope you're not disappointed, but I'm no longer level 69. I could not be more disappointed in you than I am right now. Yeah. Extreme levels, Millsy. You know better than that. More than anyone else, sir. Makes me sick. Makes me sick. What if it'd be possible to have the ERA a higher hunt range? If its favorite room door closed or unclosed? I don't know. I think that could get a little dicey. A mimic can mimic any ghost. Yes, it's not restricted to only being able to mimic certain ones. It can mimic any of them. Yep. Ever had that ghost decide they didn't believe in tables? Oh, I think they stopped that though. I'm pretty sure that's fixed. The ghost being able to just like cruise over top of the table. I'm pretty sure that that's fixed. Yeah. Neon. Hi friend, how are you? Good to see you. Ghosts were between a Delta gas and a spirit, but it refused to give us the last piece of evidence. Is there a way to test between the two? Well, if you think about what the ghosts are able to do, the spirit can't hunt you for 180 seconds once it's been smudged, like once you've cleansed it. The Delta, you can literally slow if the ghost does not have line of sight and it is anything but the normal speed for an average ghost, which is the 1.7 meters per second, it's a Delta then. If you're between the two, because the spirit would literally be the normal hunting speed, but the Delta is changing its speed based on how many items were moved, unique items were moved in between hunts. Or light switched, all that stuff. In between attempted hunts, I guess is probably the better way to do it. Oh, Millsy, thank you for gifting Neon a sub. Neon, I hope your weekend's going well, friend. Still want a ghost that gets mad if you pick up the bone? No, I don't want that, because then that automatically makes it where we have to have the bone for it to have some unique thing. No, don't tie the ghost to the bone at all. I don't want the bone in the game. I want it gone. It's unique items moved. Unique items moved, light switched, faucets turned on, the breaker turned on or off. Yeah, all those interactions for sure. What's up, Pixel? I appreciate it, man. Least favorite map? High school. Yeah, that map sucks. Emotional today because I met so many people. Oh, Nix, that's awesome, friend. How was your stream, by the way? C-Vote. Thank you for the subs, dude. Oh my freaking God. Is there a ghost that can move the front door? The Ure. Regret what you said earlier? A little bit. C-Vote, dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. If you guys got gifted, please make sure to thank C-Vote or whoever gifts you. All right. Hero has no problem being like, it's time to go. Spin it. Stream was good. Had dental surgery. Oh, talking was a bit rough. Oh, well, I hope you're feeling better. I do hope you're feeling better. Dental surgery is definitely not a joke. Haven't researched too much, but I think it would be a nice touch. Oh, if it's less likely to do the light break event, it seems something you would hate. I don't know. I would assume no, but it's not out of the realm of possible. I guess I'd have to just look and see what people have discovered about the ghosties. All right. Stuff and things, man. Such an interesting mechanic. It's really cool. It is. I really hope that they do more with the other ghosts. I hope that they do a deeper dive for each of them so that we get more interesting things with these ghosts. I really do. Probably not, but it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool. I understand. I agree with you. Kind of like how the Cormos can't do the the fart ball or the chasing event. Like, that makes sense, right? Spin that. Yeah. Got back home Friday night, spent all night sick as a dog. Oh, Neon, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry. Do you think they would ever rework an existing old Ghost? Oh, absolutely. Oh, for sure. I think they would, especially if it makes sense. I think for right now, it's just a matter of time. Investing time in the places where it really counts. My hope is that they believe that investing time into the ghosties is going to be really, really helpful, because I think it's one of the things I think that makes Phasmo the game that it is, and what makes it so replayable is because the ghosts and their unique abilities and the hunts and all that stuff, being able to recognize things about them, it makes it such a fun game. So I'm hoping, I mean, I'm sure that they recognize that. It would just be nice to see that more, for sure. Zephyr, welcome in. Good to see you. Okay, well. Fuck! Damn it. I was so close. How do I test for a Cormos and no evidence? Stand in the corner of a room where the ghost is going to be able to see you and let it hunt. The wheel hates us. It said, I've had enough with giving you good, with giving the chat good stuff. No. We're going to give you all the bad. Damn it. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway. Yeah. The Cormos, when you're not moving, I did tease. I think I did, Mayor. I think I messed with it too much. The Cormos, when you're not moving, it doesn't know you're there. So if you let the ghost go walking, but make sure you're not standing in a path where it's more than likely going to walk. But if you just stand there, the ghosty will go right by you without even seeing you. And I'm also pretty sure that the Cormos, isn't it also a different speed? I'm still like, listen, I'm still engraving the new ghosties into my brain. No, I think the Cormos is normal. It's the other, it's the Cormos is normal. It's the Aswang that's different, I think. Cormos, I believe, is the normal, like, average speed. But then the Aswang, when that's hunting, it's not average. All right, where is it at? Ugh. Cormos is normal until it detects you. Right. Until it hears you, and then it speeds up. Yeah. Base speed for the Cormos is 1.7. Yeah. All right, well, I guess that's not as bad. Okay. What level is that? Oh, it's the one right below Habanero. Great. What up, Stewie? Good to see you. I need to recognize this because it looks just like the Carolina Reaper. Oh, shit. I think it's this one. Okay. All right, well, I'm either going to be safe or this is really going to suck. What's my favorite medium map? Oh, Bleasdale for sure. Bleasdale's great. I love Bleasdale. Bleasy Street. Ever seen Big Fish? Yeah. I certainly have. It's been a long time. Yeah, Bleasy. I love Bleasy Street. All right, let's do one more before we do like our new player round. Or, oh, that's already hot. I'd say I could prestige and we could do it that way, all natural. But I don't know if I'm gonna get there or not. It's hard to say. Let's go to Edgefield. Woo!
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
Rain, how are you?
Got a report that suggests a possible ghost sighting.
Would I do Tanglewood or Willow for the new game? Tangle, probably. Probably Tangle. Do a 15 times and prestige. That sounds like an awful idea. Because you assume that we're going to max the number out on a 15 times level and then also be able to prestige after. Do you know if we'll get the trophies for the new ghost? Probably not. Unless they change something. I don't think so. 15 times. We'll eventually try the Willow Street all difficulty again. Whew. Savage, good to see you. Is there a reason why? Well, I mean, how many new ghosts do we have that they have not added trophies for? Now, I think one of the bigger reasons why I don't think that they're going to do it is because they added the achievement to get all achievements after they had so many ghosts, and then they started adding more. So if they add trophies for you getting achievements to get new ghosts, what does that do to the achievement where you got an achievement for getting all achievements? You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? What lights do I want? I don't care. I can't. They're behind me. I don't see them. Yeah. Joe, oh, thank you for the cow sticker giveaway. If you guys do exclamation point enter. Whew. Where do you get the music from? Monster Cat. Yeah, I've made a playlist over time, but it's Monster Cat. Mm-hmm. And y'all difficulties good to watch even when you would pick different maps. Well, I would love to come up with some different ideas for some of those challenges for sure. Yeah. Whew. Okay. We have Kim Alexander. We need to capture a photo, incense, and repel, which means we're going to walk in there with a photo camera this time. Let us try. Hopefully Ghosty just pops up for an event and we get a quick photo, eh? Ghosty? Ghosty? No Ghosty yet. Saw the post on Twitter about the copyright things. Yeah, apparently it's a bug, but it's really annoying because it was literally hitting every one of my past live streams that had Monster Cat in it. Every one of them was getting hit. It was like being hit and then released. So there was a claim and then it was released. A claim and then it was released. So I'm getting endless emails about it, which is really annoying. Whew. I'd like to say I think I'm getting better with spicy stuff, but not really. Oh, that's cute. That was directly above me. I heard that. Where was that? I couldn't hear that from the other floor, could I? Nah. Hold on. I'm prepping. Let's do this. Do that. I didn't mean to throw the lighter. Give me that. Alright, give me these guys. I've already got a photo camera at the door. We'll take this guy and do this. What's up, Nitro? Good to see you. On PlayStation, all games have the platinum trophy, getting all other trophies. It applies to all the trophies prior. So anything after that, the Die and the Obombo would be filed under like an expansion pack. Okay. I got you. Put that there. Pills. Let's go get more stuff. Hey, what's up, Carrie? How are you, friend? All right, do this. Hold. Let's see. I'm already following for 3 years. Hey, let's go. Last message before that, you checked to see how long you were following 2 days ago, and then the last message before that was 3 years ago. Let's go. Hell yeah. What's up, dude? Welcome back. All right, I'm gonna get repel, cleanse. We'll get the photo. Oh, I might move the crucifix. I'm gonna move the crucifix. I'm gonna move it. The reason being, I want it to hunt. I want it to hunt. What's up, Mark? You just welcome me back to my stream? I don't know. Thanks, I guess. Salt. Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the objectives. So we'll get this. We'll get this. Do this. Yeah. Careful, SpongeBob. Yeah. Pish posh. Pish posh. I'm gonna remove that crucifix from where it is, though. I think I heard it from literally all the way on the second floor. Watch. I'd almost bet money it still instantly hunts. This. Wait for it. What's up, Honorable? Good to see you. Hi, Pam. Love you. Hey, leave my crunchy pills alone. Oh, she's a crawler. All right, she sped up with line of sight. Off to work. Have a good work day, Tika. I'll swung? No, it sounded like a normal speed. Without line of sight, it sounded very average. I don't think so. Could be wrong here. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. That. Now, she's up here somewhere. But where? Literally right here. This. Hold. Let me try to get more stuff real fast. I did miss the demon timer, but that's okay. That's okay. Crawling equals 2 times as creepy, yeah. That doesn't mean it's there. Could be. Let's put this here. This here. That there. Let's quickly go get another one. These things will crawl on the wall or the ceilings. Yeah, but how cool would that be? Holy dude, lag. Holy shit. Difficulty? It's a nightmare. You're in there. Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, you're not a Pulte. Right. Let's get more stuff. We know where it is now. Groovy. Really cool if they crawled on this. I think that would be a great addition. I would love it. Oh, you know what? You did knock on the window. Let's do this. Do this. Stalking ghost? Eh. Why not a Pulte? Well, word on the street is that if you witness the ghost knock on a window, then it can't be a Pulte. Oh, look, UV. What's up, Macy? How are you? Ghosty is chilling in here. Let's get more stuff. It's being kind of chill, though. Prove us wrong, be a Pulte. That's fine with me. If Ghosty wants to prove it wrong and be a Pulte, let's go. When is Horror 2.0? There is no Horror 2.0. It's just the full release of the game. It's going to be coming out next year at some point. Not a mare. Excuse me. I didn't see it. Are you in a Abake? I didn't see a shapeshift. EMF 5? Wait a tick. Wait a tick. Give me EMF 5. Do it. Oh god, I don't have any smudges. Whoops. Whoopsie. Give me that. Give me that. That's fine. Sure it's not a mimic. I actually don't know. That's a great point. Now, I didn't see a shapeshift, but we did only see her for so long. It was not long enough that we could rule that out. Let's get a spirit box just to be sure. No, I didn't see orbs though. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? No orbs yet, I know. I'm not like counting them out. God forbid they pop up out of nowhere. Hello? Pam Jam. Oh, I don't want to lock myself in either. Whoops. Another window touch. Where's my EMFer? I heard that. Where? Look out, it's a shadow. Oh, you stupid EMF 5. I hate you. I think we have a cake. I think we have an Obeka cake. That's right. I didn't like my nose anyway. God damn. She's so aggressive. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did that come from? She just, hey. Oh my god, dude. You are so aggressive all of a sudden. What is going on? Yeah, see? We should have had UV on that switch, and we did not. Sounds mad. No, not really. More just, you know, curious. She has a new friend. Hey. Hey, Halogen, how are you, friend? Crush, welcome in. Good to see you. Alright, I already got that, dude. Old news. I didn't grab it in time, bitch. Alright, well that's gone. Maybe we can see a shapeshift downstairs this time. Yeah? She angry? She's a little upset. Here. Let's bring this. Bring that over here. Good. Had food with the fam. Some chicken. We have a gas station here that sells amazing chicken. It's so good. I get it tonight, but I think the missus has plans for dinner, and I'm not sure what she planned. Come on, Ghost. Hey, you can do. No, AT&T. Have a gas station that sells award-winning. Like, why? Like, why? Why do these gas stations have such good food? Coming downstairs. Come on. We're gonna see Grandma. shit, it was Rhonda. Hey, hey, get out of here, you cheater. Yeah, Grandma wouldn't do that. You cheating scum, get out of here. Grandma's much nicer, right? Doing a perfect game? No, not worried about perfects. No, we got the we got the objectives. That's really all I cared about. Gas stations having good food is not shocking to me anymore. I used to live in KC, and the gas stations are where the good barbecue is. Like, I don't understand though. Why the gas stations? Why don't they have their own little standalone things to do their food? It doesn't make sense. But welcome in, hello. They age so fast. I don't know. Would Pam, like, would Rhonda be that much older than Pam? I don't know. All right, that's an Obake. We saw the shapeshift. We have EMF 5. Okay, we got the objectives. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Infrastructure's already there. Yeah, that's true. That's fair point. That's fair point. And it's I don't know. I'm sure that they've worked it out to where it makes sense for the gas station as well. More people stopping by, right? Oh, baked a cake. You stop for gas, I know, and then you get some foods. It's dude, I would. All right, level 98. So we're not high enough, but that's okay. We're still gonna do the things. Quick loadout, tier 1. Why is that not all tier 1? There we go. Actually, no, that's a lie. Enable, disable. That's what we want. That's what we want. Love Phase, we all do. You accidentally put chicken in your gas tank? Damn, that sucks. Dunel's? Oh, we're gonna do Tanglewood. Then after Tangle, after Tangle Streets, we will maybe switch it up a little bit. Yeah, it's not even 3 o'clock yet, so we're good. All's well. Oh, I could. I should. That's true. Do the real experience here, as if you had none of that stuff. Oh, customization. Let's do. Let's do. There we go. I might leave the clothes alone though, because I don't feel like caring. Because you can't even see. You can't even see me really anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, there we go. That's a good idea. I like that. All right. Before I do this, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then after the restroom, we will do our new player game. Quick trips to Minnesota have amazing fried chicken. See? I'm telling you, it's a thing. All right, give me a second. I'm going to BRB. I'll be really fast. And then, yeah, we'll be ready to rock. It's not the spicy bean is not going to make me pee. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. All right. BRB. Okie dokie. Let's do the things. No, chair's gone. You can stop talking to the chair. Okay? Chair's gone. Moving on. You know, it's a good feeling You wash your hands? I did. There's a bathroom right next to me. Yeah, I did. It's literally right next door. Good grief. I used to have to go upstairs. That hasn't been a thing for a while. Talk to the chair. That's right. It's a good feeling knowing that I don't have to, that I don't owe one of the gross sodas, knowing that I can go into the next stream. Clean slate. Clean slate. Should be nicer to the chair. It's always been there supporting you. Touche. Touche. All right. This is going to be, for anybody curious, this is going to be a new player game. We are going to try to do amateur, and we're going to do this with starter equipment and all that jazz, okay? That is going to be our mission here. Hold on, give me a sec. Yep, I need to turn that down. That's going to be our mission here. Okay, turn that up. There. Okay. So, it has been a while since we have done a new player game. What is it like, or what should you do as a new player to Phasmophobia? There's been a lot of questions about advice, what to do, where to go, how to look for hiding, how to stay alive. I think it is important to show what that's like. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a new player experience type game where we talk about what my suggestions are if you're new to the game. We'll do it on Tangle, we'll do it on amateur, and we're going to do it with all starter equipment. So that way it is the same as if you just started the game for the first time and you wanted to get into it. I highly suggest amateur and then moving up from there. If you feel good on amateur, go to intermediate. If you feel good on intermediate, move on to the next. You can see the descriptions from for the game here. Long setup time. You have long hunt grace period. The grace period is literally when the hunt begins and when the ghost can start moving to chase you. So long hunt grace period for amateur. The hunts are shorter, sanity pills restore more of your sanity, and you regain half of your lost equipment. So you literally get 50% of whatever you lose back if you just so happen to get got by the ghost. So let's go to Tanglewood. Let's give it a whirl. You can't even go to intermediate until you've gotten to level 10. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So playing on amateur, you can't even get to intermediate until level 10. So you work your way up through the difficulties and also the maps, because as you start to progress, you will start to unlock more. So what I'll do is I will let the game literally crash. And then after it crashes, we will restart again. That sound like a good idea? I'm not kidding. The game literally just crashed. I'm not joking. It literally just went, see you later. All right, let's try that again. Is that step one? Game crash? Yeah. Step two? Profit. Okay, let's go back in and try that again. It crashed before the initial crashing ever commenced. All right, let's go back. If I hear like heavy rain, I might leave and come back because that's annoying.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
Okay.
Get set up before investigating.
I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and let it breathe. I'm kind of afraid. We're gonna let it breathe for a minute. See, this is kind of a new player experience. There's a lot of people that have been dealing with crashes. Does that mean I'm doing well? You're doing great. You're killing it. You do you. You're doing great. I know if it ends up being a Dio, I'm screwed because as a new player, you can't get a Dio, which means we would have to do it again. Middle of investigation. This is true. Very, very true. Had a crash yesterday on a perfect investigation. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Let's do the things. Please do the things. All right. So when you load in, you've got a 5-minute setup time, which means that it doesn't matter what the ghost is. You literally have 5 minutes where the ghost can't hunt you, no matter what. Unless you use the cursed possession and then you make your sanity go below 50, then at that point, it's kind of free game. But As long as you're not messing with it, you have 5 minutes to find out where the ghost is and do whatever you need to do. So we have all tier 1. So we are given the starter equipment, which is the EMF, spirit box, thermo, UV, flashlight, writing book, dots, and video camera. What I'm going to do, check the board. First of all, Gloria Robinson, we need to witness a ghost event, capture a photo, and average standing below 25. We don't have a photo camera, so we literally don't have to worry about this at all. Witnessing a ghost event, that's almost guaranteed to happen unless we go like way too fast. And then 25% sanity. If we want and we feel safe enough, we could also achieve that. But main concerns, getting the ghost correct and getting out alive. That is number 1. That is a must do. If you can't survive, you're going to lose everything. So let's go in with a flashlight, EMF, and thermo. It's probably one of the more popular setups that you're ever going to see. The power starts literally on. So the second I walk in, I can go ahead and start flipping the switches. That was way louder than I expected. So now that we have the lights, we know that we can start looking for ghosty. So if I want, go ahead and turn on my EMF and start looking around. Now, hear me out. If you're new, you need to understand that when you are standing in a room with the lights off, your sanity is slowly draining, okay? So if you check your watch, which you can change your keybinds for that, if you're standing in a room where it's dark, your sanity will drop unless you turn all the room lights on, okay? Which might be one switch, it could be multiple depending on how big the room is. So if you're worried about your sanity, especially now because, well, I can't replenish my sanity. I don't have sanity pills. I can't do that. So I could make sure that I've got my room lights on when I'm checking temps. So I could go into each room and start checking one by one and seeing if the ghosty room is here. Now, if it is, you'll start to see the thermo. Yes, it's bouncing, but you'll see it go down. I just heard the ghost. It's over there somewhere. It might be in the master bedroom, maybe. Now, with it being amateur, all your hiding spots are open. These closets, good to go. Just make sure that your electronics are off and that if you're on an open mic, that you're not talking, and then shut the doors. Those are hiding spots. Got more there. We got more there. But what I'm going to do while I'm moving place to place, I'm going to go this way because I think I heard ghosty this way, and we can already see that something has been moved, so we know the ghost is here. Now, this is 2 rooms. In the old Tanglewood, it didn't used to be that way. You had a bathroom and you had a bedroom and all that. It was all considered one room. This is not one room anymore. This is now 2. That's an ensuite, and then you've got the bedroom here. Now, the temps are going down here. Let's double check here. If the temps were going down here as well, that would mean that the ghost is literally going back and forth between these rooms, but the temps are going up, so it's probably here. Probably here. Or you always have a possibility too that it could have done it through the wall. So if you see a picture frame moved, double check over on the other side of the wall too, just to make sure. With the temps going down here, I think the odds of the ghost being there are very high. Very high. Let's double check over here though, just to be sure. Temps are going up? I don't think so. Nah. That means ghosty's here. So we can leave our thermo here. We can turn on the EMF. We can leave that on the ground. And then by turning off the light in the ghost room, that means the ghost can interact with more things. When the light is on, the ghost can't throw objects. So if you are sitting there with a ghost in the master bedroom just like this, and you have the master bedroom lights on, if the ghost is standing in this room, the ghost can't throw objects, which means it's less chance of you being able to check for your EMFs. But if you want to be in that room and you don't want to lose your sanity, turn the lights on just to be a little bit more safe, and then start checking interactions from there. Door touches, window touches, whatever it might be. Now, I still got 1 minute and 48, so let's get our video camera, let's get dots, and let's get writing book. Now, when you start deep diving ghosts and you start figuring out about ghost abilities and you start to figure out what different capabilities they have, you can start to figure out things like the poltergeist is the only ghost that can be in a lit room and throw objects. It is the only one. Ooh, do I see? Was that an orb? I just heard a window touch. Wait a minute. Ooh, that might have been... I heard a window touch, so we check here. So we know ghosty touched that, which means I can check it for UV. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and place book And I'm also going to place the dots. What switch did you just touch? I heard that. Ooh, it also just touched that one too. So let's place all this down real fast. I swear I thought I saw an orb. I could be losing it. Maybe I didn't. I did. Where is it? I knew I saw it. Where'd it go? Oh, let's stand out here real quick. I knew I saw it. Where in the French? Hold on. Maybe it's in there. It is in there. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, the ghost orb does not mean that the ghost is standing inside of the room, like in the closet where the orb is. It just signifies what room is the favorite room for the ghost. So if the orbs move from here to over there, then we know the favorite room has changed. What a turd. Okay, let's turn that back off. Let's go get more stuff and come back in. Had a deal in prison before and it came at me in Mach 10 and scared you. That's okay. That's okay. Don't be scared. If you're a new player, you won't get a DO for a little while. All right, let me get this and this. Now, we've got orbs, so I can go and mark that down and get rid of some of our ghosties. But because I have a video camera down, we can also watch this to possibly get something out of it. Safely watching from the van, so that way you can check for things like writing, for dots. If you have things set up in a certain way, you could even check EMF if you had it set up right. Or UV, but we'll go back in and we'll check all that stuff. Right now, we see that the orb is still there, so we know the ghostie's there. Dots, I have in a decent spot. I could push it a little bit further in, but that's, if the ghost does dots, we should be able to see it. Why don't you get DO as a new player? I believe they were saying the reason they don't allow it to go below a certain level is so it doesn't confuse new players. Because if you're new, you're learning how to hide from the ghost, and the DO literally knows where you're hiding. So that's very confusing for a brand new player to the game. Now, if you're playing with a host that is above the threshold for leveling, for the levels, then, well, careful, SpongeBob. All right, our sanity, that's how much my sanity has dropped this whole time. Because we've been standing in the lights, barely any has dropped at all. All right. Now, let's start checking for, oh. Because it touched this, I could check this for UV. I don't, oh, and it kicked my power. Oh my God, man. Oh, hi, Grandma. Get a free video out of it. Why not? What I'm going to do, actually, let's check this first. Where are you? Are you here?
Close to busting.
That's gross. So, because the ghost was standing there venting, that's an even better opportunity after it's done to know, hey, the ghostie is right there. I can check for spirit box. The spirit box tier 1, not that great. Not the greatest thing in the world. So it doesn't hurt to not run into it, because if you run into the ghost event, you will lose sanity. Let it finish the event, and then after it's done the event, we have hiding tier 2 in the basement, by the way. Once it's done the event, then you go over that area and you check. Now, I did get spirit box, so that means Diane Cormos, it's not a mare. The reason we know that is because it turned a light on, but if you're a new player, you might not know that, so we'll just leave it alone. Because we get 3 evidence, just get your evidence. Just get all 3. So, writing book has not been touched. Let's check our thermo. Normal ghosts, non-freezing ghosts, can't go below 1 degree. So if that thermo goes to the line or under, it's freezing temps. And we literally have freezing temps right now. So I've got orbs, freezing, spirit box, that's an Onryo, or possibly a mimic. If somehow we get UV. So it doesn't hurt to double check 1 or 2 more times just to be sure. Now what I could also do is I could also walk around and find the bone, because that's extra money and XP for now while it's still in the game. Doesn't hurt. Any bones in here? No. All right, we'll go look around in a second. All right, I'll leave the light on. Let's go look for the bone real fast. Again, it's XP, it's money, it's free. You might as well get it. If you're walking around and see it, that's even better. If not, not a big deal. I also haven't seen the cursed object. I don't know what it is. Or I haven't been paying attention enough to see it. Alright, go this way. It's going to be a super obvious bone. Or I've passed it and I didn't realize it. Go this way, this way. Do you think you saw it? All right, let me go back. Was it in the nursery? I'm sitting there jibber jabbering. Oh, it's literally right here. Yeah. So normally what you can do is you can take a picture of it, but because we don't have a photo camera, well, you might as well just pick it up. Nothing you can do with that. Objective wise, capture photo we can't do. Sanity 25 we can do. Now Ghosty's not interacting with a lot anymore. Make sure our orbs are still here, because if the orbs are not here anymore, that means the ghost moved. Let's double check. It just threw something in here. I still see my breath, which means that the room is below 5 degrees Celsius. Ghosty? Was that the orb right there? Right by the door? Oh, it's right here again. What the fuck? Now, I try to get it. Now that's a really solid point. When you're playing on amateur and it's brand new, the Ghosty's not going to change its favorite room. So if you find the orbs, you're basically locked in. But once you start playing higher difficulties, you'll start to realize that the ghost can move from room to room. So you need to be careful. But on amateur, once you set up shop, you're good to go there. Unless you get like a stalking ghost that's following you around the map. Now, it did hit us with a fart ball, which means our sanity did take a hit. Okay. We're still not below 50%, which is usually the average sanity threshold for most ghosts. I still haven't been able to check for UV again. Except for right now, because it just touched that door. Oh, hey, look, that's a handprint. You know what that means? It's a mimic. Oh, that's adorable. That's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I would get a mimic in the middle of this. Ooh, monkey paw. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to wish. So I'm going to wish for sanity because it's going to take my sanity to 50%. Okay. Do I have enough? Yeah. So when you wish for sanity, it takes your sanity to 50, but it does change the ghost's favorite room. So we're going to risk that. Don't be a stalker. Please don't be. So the dangerous part about the mimic is the mimic can literally mimic any other ghost. If it decided to mimic a demon and hunt me instantly, it could. If it decided to mimic a Revy, you know, it's hard to say. So mimic is a bit on the dangerous side, but that's why I like the mimic so much. So I'm going to wish for sanity, take my sanity to 50, change the ghost favorite room, and then I'm going to wish to change the weather because then that will lower my sanity even more. Okay. I wish for sanity. I wish for sunrise. Now look at my sanity. Objective done. Now, I want to be at the ready because the ghost is going to hunt. I need to make sure that it doesn't hunt on top of me. This is a little bit more of a dangerous thing to do. But this is an example of what to do to stay away from the ghost. Starting to hunt. Grace period just kicked in. Question. So the weather wish, what does that, where does it help? If you have heavy rain and you don't want it to be heavy rain anymore, you can change it to clear, to fog, whatever's best for you. Yeah. Whatever's best. Now, this could be stupid and this could get me killed, but we're going to do it as an example. I'm going to wait for the ghost to hunt again. It would be a little bit easier if I knew what the ghost was, but because it's changing what it is every 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah. The weather change can remove the blood moon, but the problem is that the effects still stay. Yeah. Can the mimic do a Dio? Yes. Not hunting. So there is a bigger grace period on amateur, which is really nice. So if it decided to hunt on top of me, I have like 5 seconds to get away. We'll wait here. See, if Ghosty senses where you are, as long as you don't have a ghost that knows that you went into the hiding spot, you can run to the hiding spot, make sure your electronics are off, be quiet, and just wait. And if the ghosty tries to open the door, shut the door. And there you go. And there you go. That is the literal max of what I can do. Like what I could potentially do is I could get more videos. So if I wanted, I could get 3 more videos, which is a few extra bucks. But as a new player, it is way more important to survive. Get the ghost correct. If you can get the objectives, awesome. That's more money and XP, but surviving is number 1. If you don't survive, you lose. At amateur, you lose 50% of whatever it is that you brought. And the amount of XP that you get is exponentially lower. Yeah, the amateur hunts are very, very short. Yeah. But the ghostie's a mimic 100% guaranteed because on amateur, you get 3 evidence and we literally got 4. If you look at the mimic has 3 pieces of evidence. The mimic has spirit box, it has freezing, and it has ultraviolet. But a feature about the mimic, which is really cool, is that it will always have orbs. Orbs, it will always have. Several reports have noted the ghost orb sightings near the mimic. That's not just flavor text, it's real. The mimic always has orbs. So if you play on no evidence, if you just so happen to be trying that and you saw orbs, it would be a guaranteed mimic. So any amount of evidence you have plus orbs. Because we're playing on amateur with 3 plus orbs, it's a mimic. Guaranteed, which is actually kind of nice because then it's not like, oh, I might have an Onryo that could be a mimic. No, we literally have all the evidence that we need. So there you have it, friends. Can't capture a photo of the ghost. There's nothing you can do about that. There's no point in worrying about it because you don't have a photo camera yet. So you move on. You take your money, you take your XP, and you get out of Dodge. Yes, sir. But what does the rain do to the gameplay? It's just loud.
Welcome back.
It's super loud.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
If you have heavy rain, what it does to the gameplay is you have to listen to the rain the whole time. Yeah, so it sucks. So, amateur, if you get the ghost correct and you get 2 objectives, you pick up the bone, I got 25 bucks for media, 350 XP. You're not getting a ton by any means, but you will slowly get more the better you get. The better you get, the faster you get, the harder the difficulties you do once you unlock them. So, if we go to here, we can also check the details of the ghost and we can see what they've done, what we've done. We can see how many times the ghost uses its ability if it has one. The mimic has the ability, oh, interactions, nice. The mimic has the ability to change what ghost it's mimicking. It literally changed 13 times. So it doesn't say what ghost it was mimicking. You could possibly know that depending on how obvious the hunt is or what the abilities it's doing is, but it doesn't matter. As long as you survive, that's what really matters. 2 hunts, 2 events, get that money, get out of town, and move on. The best you can do, man. Managing your sanity is also important, making sure that you guys don't let your sanity just drop until you get hunted. But again, like I said, in my opinion, the most important thing is surviving. Your sanity can go from 100 to whatever. It doesn't matter. If you don't know how to survive, you're going to not make a lot of money and you're going to lose a lot of equipment and have to waste your money buying new equipment. And then you can't buy anything else. Surviving is key. And then start to learn the game as you go. learn ghost by ghost by ghost. And there's also a lot of really good tools to use so you can get better. If you use the unofficial cheat sheet from Zero Network, Zero in the team, you literally have a endless sea of useful information. For each of the ghosts, you can go through. What I would personally do, I would get the evidence for the ghost. And once I know what that ghost is, look here. Ooh, it's a banshee. I know it's a banshee. What can this ghost actually do? Ooh, now I can actually put this to practice by messing with this ghost. Soon enough, once you get to level 50, there's going to be an update coming out where you're going to be able to choose those ghosts inside of custom settings. It's not in the game yet as of right now, but it will be. And then you can test it even more. And then it's a way faster way without having to be like, well, I haven't had a gallow yet. And then having to go and do another hunt to get it. You'll literally be able to pick it, which is super neat. Super freaking cool. But there you go, friends. Hopefully that's helpful for anybody that is new. I hope that that gives you some information. I hope that that is helpful. If you guys ever have questions, please ask, man. Please ask. If I don't have the ability to answer in that moment, there's a good chance that someone in chat will be able to. There's a lot of experienced players. Okay? Just ask. Doing what you said, getting the 3 evidence and then reading up on the ghost has got me a long way in learning. It's way better than being like, here, let me read all 30 ghosts and then try to remember all that. I personally learn way faster and I learn more if I put it to practice. So if I know that I have a certain ghost, I read up on that ghost and I know what it can and can't do. Now I can do it. Actually put it to practice. How to become a partner with Kinetic? You have to apply. I don't think the applications for it are open right now, but to be a Kinetic partner, you have to reach a certain threshold when it comes to the average viewers you have if you stream, or average views on your videos if you post to like YouTube. Yeah. Been playing for a while, but it's still useful. Yeah, and I want to be able to do more things that are like, this one is maybe tailored towards this group of people that are trying to learn this, or this group of people that are trying to do this. Maybe not even necessarily a new player, but somebody that's been playing, but they're trying to get better at X. Would be super cool. Is there ever a situation where the bone doesn't appear on the map? If you don't see the bone, there's a possibility it's glitched, but hopefully they've gotten better at that. Yeah. As a new player, what happens if I just stand in a room and the ghost runs at me? I always just stand there and for some reason it wants to kill me. I would really think about, maybe wearing deodorant, Millsy, is number 1. Number 2, stop insulting them. You know, they used to be people too. Just a thought. Give it a whirl. The photo camera does tell you, but I don't know. I haven't run into a situation where I've had a glitched bone with the new photo camera stuff. Yeah, so if you get the tier 1 photo camera, you're not going to be able to see this. But once you unlock the tier 2, there's now this like ring that pops up to tell you what you can and can't take a photo of. If it doesn't pop up, you can't. If it pops up, you know that you can. So I don't know if people have run into glitched bones where they're like, I can see it in the border, but I can't even see the bone. If it's a child, can I kick it? Child ghost? Absolutely. Yeah, it's actually preferred, if you don't mind. That's a service. It's like DoorDash. Yeah. Almost got Doomslayed 5 seconds too late to the achievement. Oh no, oh dude, I'm sorry. At least you almost had it though. There you go. Choosing the ghost in custom settings will be a requirement for me. I play on professional, but can't get any further because of the complexity. It's really, really helpful. We've been asking for it for a long time. So I'm glad that they finally were just like, you know what? Let's give them what they want. I understand being hesitant about it. I get it. But at the same time, like, are they really losing anything by giving us the ability to choose the ghost? Not really. How do you check for a Cormos on no evidence? Oh, somebody was asking about that earlier. I don't think that was you. Thank you, Song. The Cormos on no evidence, I mean, the Cormos can hear you and it can't see you. So if you're just standing in a corner somewhere where the ghost is going to pass through that room and you don't move and the ghost just keeps on moving and you're playing solo, that's a Cormos. I would almost guarantee it. Friendly reminder, always kick the kid ghost. Absolutely. And we're going to eventually have a new kid ghost. Yeah, they're going to have a new revamped kid ghost. All right. I have ads, friends. We're going to do our 3 minutes of ads and we'll get back into it. Okay. I literally wait in the lobby for the ads to get done. So that way we can have everybody on the same playing field. Okay. 3 minutes and then we go back. What? She's making fun of me. Tell Mrs. Flash to knock it off. She's making fun of me. How far away can the Cormos hear you? I don't remember. Let me look. Let's see. Details. So it's, if the player is sprinting 30 meters, if the player is walking normally 15, and if you're crouched 10 meters. Yeah. It's difficult to know. What I need to figure out is exactly how far, like how many steps is X number of meters, because I feel like that's changed. I feel like that has changed over time. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Why do our items slide? Just a bug. It's just a bug. What if you're sprinting while crouched? I would assume that would be considered sprinting. So if you're sprinting while crouched, probably 30 meters. Yeah. I believe you need to have at least one time multiplier for achievements to work. I don't think so. I don't think that's true. Filled with lead, hello. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Is it different on Blood Moon? Is what different on Blood Moon? Amber, you got your first APOC trophy. Let's go. Tried for the second and realized I quickly wasn't ready. Unwritten rule in Phaz is if you play Bleasdale, you must save Josie and Milo. This is facts. Very, very true. Ish, welcome in. Is it normal for me to be scared when I play Phaz alone, but when I play with friends, I'm so confident? No, not at all. I was the same way when I first started playing. I played with friends and it was fine. The second I played solo, I was like, I kind of don't want to go in the house. What is the next weekly? Ooh, I'd have to look. I don't remember. I'd have to go look. Who is Josie and Milo? My dog and Tom's cat. Yeah, their pictures are on the plates at Bleasdale. Yeah. I've noticed that some people can tell what a ghost is based on ghost event, if it's a translucent or a ball. Which ones can be well, they probably can't tell which one it is. They can probably tell which one it's not. If you have the I'll wait till the ads are done. Once the ads are done, we'll talk about it so that way everyone has the information. Cooper, thank you for the sub. Welcome in, man. Thank you for the sub. You think you have the world's fastest APOC 3 total fluke on objectives in Dio? Submit it to speedrun.com. I haven't looked at speedrun.com for Phasmo in quite a long time. I'm curious what the actual fastest is. Google says it's do as I command. Oh, okay. Do as I command. That is the one with all the cursed objects at Sunny Meadows, right? I think so. I think that's what that is. Queen was saying that they noticed that some people can tell what a ghost is based on its ghost event, if it's translucent or whole or a ball. What it more than likely is that they're not being able to recognize what the ghost is. They're able to eliminate what it's not. For the most part, certain ghosts have certain events that they like or don't like. So like the Oni cannot do the mist ball event. The Cormos can't do the mist ball or the chasing event where the ghost pops up immediately and starts following you around. The Cormos can't do that because it can't see. So why would it be able to chase you? The Shade doesn't have the ability to do the singing event. I don't know if that's a bug or a feature. Not really sure. We've ever gotten an answer on that one. Let's see. The Mare is more likely to give you the light bursting event. The Shade is more likely to give you the shadow event. The Oni is more likely to give you a physical manifestation where you can see the full ghost model. It's not translucent or anything like that. So certain ones are favored by ghosts and certain one ghosts can't do. So I don't think there's been an event where I don't think there's an event that pops up where it's like, I know it's that ghost. We should check if you still have the only fastest record time for Phasmo with a Guitar Hero controller. Well, let me look. I don't know if anybody else has ever tried, Song. Speedrun.com. Let's go to Phasmophobia. Man, I haven't looked at this in a long time.
America runs on people making things happen every single day.
That's great. Shut up. Don't play audio ads to me, you sicko. Oh, I don't think anybody can. Did they archive controller percent? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It looks like they archived controller percent runs in general. Because Old Grafton, I did it on Tanglewood. I think that they archived all controller percent runs. They also archived Thief 100% runs. Controller percent means fastest by using a controller, not using mouse and keyboard. Yeah. Let me see. I could probably hold on. Let me sign in. Let's scroll down. Squad wipe. Yeah, it's archived. It's archived, so it will never be beaten. But I guess that is what it is. It's yeah, I've got a few that are on here. I've got a few. It's been a long time since I've even tried. Look how long this has been. So there's different categories of speed runs that you can do, and you can read it and see what they are. But there's a controller percent one that I did with a Guitar Hero controller where I got a certain run. I forget if it was Tanglewood, if it were like, oh, here you go. One was on the old Grafton, and then one was on the original Tanglewood. So yeah, they were archived. I think it's just all controller percent runs were archived, I think. But yeah, speed runs. Because the Cormos can't do certain events, ghost events, it has around the same chance of light breaking. The ghost event is a mare. Does it have the same chance? Where does it say that though? Or is that just basing it off of what you know about the ghost? All right. I need my stuff back. Give me my stuff back. Tips on how to get more comfortable playing alone. If you're used to playing with other people and you're trying to get better at playing alone, the question is, are you not used to it just because you don't have the extra hands, or is it fear? Still 34th for Leth's ring map in Rocket League. Let's go. Hey, Rachie, have a good night, friend. I learned what every ghost can do except the new ghost, which is hard to understand them. I've just read up on them. If you're having trouble knowing what they can or can't do, just, like I said, go to the unofficial cheat sheet and just read up about each of them. One of the best things you can do. All right, got that. I got that. I got that. We need a quit monk. Oh, no. Go back. Chop, quick loadout, all, enable. There we go. Now we're back. Now we're back. Ever tried the game? No. Never even heard of it. I don't know what that is. I struggle getting all the media on my own, and the second I hear a noise, I run out of the door like a sissy. Well, I mean, that's going to be a big part of it. If you're not pushing yourself to stay in there to get the media, then it's going to be really tough to get the media. So yes, you can do things like setting up a video camera to pick up things from the truck, but unless you're pushing yourself to go inside and stay there, it's going to be hard to get all the media. So if it's a matter of fear of the ghost hunting you, we always say one of the better things that you can do is just not add anything and let the ghost hunt you. Walk in, use the curse object, let it hunt you. Now you know what it feels like. Yeah. Do I need a tier 3 crucifix to stop a cursed hunt? Yep. It's the only way to stop a cursed hunt is a tier 3 crucifix, and it eats the entire thing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, let's do another nightmare. I'm going to do... Let's go to Wheeler Streets. Oh, that's right. I forgot there's the peak update is coming soon. I forgot. Coming out this week. Are there any plans? I'm definitely going to be playing it soon. For sure. Dying can help. That fear of dying in the game is something people have. Oh, yeah. So desensitizing yourself a little bit to the hunts is really helpful because then, like we said, you understand what it's like. What prestige am I? 22, I think. Right? I think I'm 22. All right. Becky Corrigan. We need to cleanse the ghost, capture a photo of the EMF, and repel. Well, let's bring that so we can get the photo of the EMF. Yeah. Sue, what's up, friend? Welcome in. There's one other way to stop a cursed hunt. Use a friend as long... Oh, wow. Sacrificing friends. Wow. Just because we do it doesn't mean you should. Did you guys finish RV there yet? Yeah, we haven't had a new map of RV there yet in a long time. That's kind of what we've been waiting on, is waiting for them to release a new one. Oh, it's push door. No music box. Dude, I'm telling you, random bits of lag. I'm gonna do a hard restart of my computer after we're done. Why bring flashlight and a headlamp? Because I'm inevitably going to drop the flashlight and then I'll be able to see with the headlamp. And also it makes it easier for chat to see. If you don't want to use this and you only want to use this, that's totally fine. But some people, it's a little hard to play like this. And also for you guys to be able to see, that's a lot better to see what's going on. So I've gotten used to doing both. A dude named Smitty. I know who Smitty is. Some guy, I don't know who he is. A beast of some kind, mister, I don't know. Hi, Floyd. They ever patched that glitch with the goggles? Not that I'm aware of, no. Alright, I hear nothing. Ghosty. Ghosty. I ain't hearing nothing. I have to start checking temps, man. Was the scariest map? Probably Sunny Meadows. I'd say Sunny Meadows is probably the scariest map. Hello? Is there no ghost to be had? What the hell is going on? Okay. Dude, the ghost is doing jack shit. Unless it's here, which is possible, and that's why it's not doing anything. Well, that whole idea of photographing the EMF is not going to work if the ghost isn't moving. Go. All right, give me this. It's shady. Yeah, right? Give me this. Give me this. Let's go. I'm going to go put this over here, and then I'm going to go back and get more equipment. We'll get the thermo and check. I heard that a semi-automatic tier 4 video camera is going to be added. What the hell does that mean? There's no freaking ghost. What is happening? All right, let's start checking temps, I guess. God damn. Wife says Willow should have a ghost cat that helps you. I think there should be a ghost cat in general. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. Not hunted. We can leave. Do I still get paid? It's probably in the basement. I just don't know why it's not moving. Oh. It's usually stuck somewhere in the wall. Yeah, I mean, I could always light the circle to make it hunt. If I have to. It's going to be in the basement. Maybe it's a thing that's really old. I mean, how the hell would I have aged it? I've been near it enough. Oh my God. Really? It's here. Okay. Sure. Whatever you say, bucko. Apparently it's there. Did it die again? Maybe. Hot damn, dude. Ghosty died again. What's up, Northern? How are you, friendo? Alright, give me that. I kind of need more stuff. Okay, it's fine. How does the Thay aging work? The Thay ages by being near the ghost. Oh, I almost couldn't touch the switch. I was like, excuse me? What? What? Okay, well that does count. Thank God. Okay. Good deal. Let's leave that there. Lighten, have a good one, friend. How often do we do APOC 3? Not very often. I think APOC 3s, for the most part, are not that entertaining to watch just because the speed is so slow. Yeah. There are some people that do them all the time, and they make them way more entertaining because they know all the tricks about it. They know what to do. Way more fun to watch them do it. All right, EMF 5. Ugh. Can the ghost route into the kitchen closet? I think it can right now. I think it's not supposed to. What are the ghosts that drain your sanity quickly? Depends what you mean. Like Mr. Tom? Tom doesn't do APOC 3 all the time. What? 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 Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Ooh. So gross. Tom does his best to avoid it. Same here. Yeah, it's Dave. Hey, Tom. Yeah. Let's go get more, and we'll come back. Julie, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How are you? They tries to age every 2 minutes. If it fails to age, it tries 30 seconds later. Yeah, when it succeeds, 2-minute timer resets. Did you get that from the wiki or from the cheat sheet? That sounds about right. Well, let's watch this for a second and see what it does. It is not doing a damn thing, though. I'll tell you that much. This could be a textbook awful shade. I had 1.0. Amy, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. How are you? Sometimes when you get 0.1 degrees on the thermometer, then it goes to like 2.3 or something. I've noticed that a little bit more recently, where I've had it, even with a tier 3, hopping around a lot. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I'm not sure. Let's get a book. Let's get a crucifix. Let's get some salt. How do you get used to playing without sanity monitor? Experience. The more you play. I don't think necessarily as much about my passive sanity dropping, even though it obviously will. I think more about the things that cause like the events dropping you a certain amount of sanity or things like that. Yeah. But what I'm not usually basing how I'm playing off of is like, am I at 50 sanity? I just think to myself, I've been playing for X amount of time, running around the map. There's a chance the ghost could hunt, so I need to play carefully. Yeah. Now, Ghosty. You gotta have your mic open sometimes. Well, stop having your mic open. It's not setting this off, which, I mean, this being the room, I don't know where the hell it'd be stuck. Always push to talk. That's what I do. Would you shut up? Maybe it changed. That's possible. It's trying to change, but it doesn't seem like it. Let's see if we can go find it. We're on the search to find the ghost now. Hey, Deanna, how are you? There's a ghost around here somewhere. Spider-Man, maybe. Wait a minute. I heard that. Was that upstairs or down here? Wait a tick. Is going on? I heard the little shake of a cat toy. I heard that. And there it is. Look. You son of a bitch. Is this its favorite room now? Hold on. Give me this. Give me this. Give me that. Turn. Dorito, hi friend. Yeah, it's totally moving up here now. Oh, don't you fart on me, you sicko. No. No. Run. If you dodge the fart ball, you don't get hit by the 10 sanity drop. Doesn't want to be found. It surely doesn't feel like it. Give me that. Give me that. This still might be a shade. This. Oh, I already got two things. That's okay. After I put salt out too. What a prick. This. And that should be good. That is the top tier dot placement for this area right here. Placing it when it's sideways and can cover that entire room. Perfection. Perfection. Definitely not a noni, 100%. That was in the closet. What a bag of trash. Maybe it's freezing temp. You know what? Hold on. Let's leave the area. So the ghost is hiding from you. It surely feels like it, doesn't it? It's changed rooms. It's not giving us a second piece of evidence. It could be freezing, but 1.0 is literally the lowest that we got. So I don't know at this point. Ay, ay, ay. We will see. Shady. Yeah, it's acted very shady. It eventing right there, though. Yeah, I mean, it could have walked into the kitchen, I guess. Said they fixed the hiding spot in Willow. Oh, maybe they did. Oh, possibly. I'm not 100% about that. I don't know. Look at the ghost is just leaving every area I get to. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Give me this. Give me this. Let's do it this way. Let's see. Do you miss the old Willow? No, not really. Oh, I like the new Willow. New Willow's where it's at. Now, Goryo would be off the table because it went from downstairs to upstairs. So that is gone. The part that is just throwing me for a loop is that it's not staying in the same area at all. Like, it's there for a second, then it's gone, which almost makes me think like, ooh, this is possibly a wraith teleporting. Look, it's like, it's not even that cold. Oh my God, it moved again. I hate it here. It's here somewhere. Hey, what's up, Mason? Thanks, dude. Ghost is making us work. It certainly is. That's why you turn off Ghost Change Rooms. It's a nice perk to custom difficulties, that's for sure. I got the new floating ghost I didn't know about. Hi, Karuba. What's up, Lil? Welcome in. Like, where is it? Where is it at? I get. Oh, you son of a bitch. Finally did something. And now I think it might have actually been stuck. Came from the gym. It certainly seemed like it, didn't it? Is my breath in here or is it in there? I swear to God. Like that. No. This thing is moving non-stop. Where is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, F that book, I guess. Ay, caramba. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. It's not a wraith. And we have UV. What the f— Get out of my face, you big son of a— Oh, damn it. Galu Jin Myling Obake. My God. Ghost is stinky. Ghost is super stinky. Yeah, not a shade anymore, but it was sure acting like one for the entire game. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Right. Hold a second. Hold on a second. I want to look at something. Could be a Gallo. Yeah, I might bring in some more salt just to double check. Let us see, let us see, let us see. Let us see, let us see. Why'd you rule out Agorio? Because I don't have dots. That's why. You have to have dots for that to happen. Yeah. Has knocked the power off? I don't think so. Not that I could tell, no. Setwave is still listening. Sounds like Ghost is trolling. Yeah, it absolutely is trolling us. Would have been perplexed. Would have been perplexed if it was a Goryo? Well, at this point, I don't even know. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. Yeah, some douche being live saying raid me. Streaming 101. Don't. All right, let's put that down there. Oh, I was gonna grab more salt. Hold on. Now, it walked in that one. It has not stepped in these. It also hasn't tried to hunt yet. Okay. Somebody learn Twitch etiquette. I have a feeling they don't give a shit. Yeah, it's a possible gallows. So let's go get more salt. Why it was doing nothing for 90% of the game, I'm not really sure. I don't know. You were warned about them before? Man. That's what happens when people talk to each other. Sucks to suck, idiot. All right. Not there. Not there. Not there. So where is it now? It's playing with the cat toys again. I swear to God. It's lazy and aggressive. Okay, there it is. It is here. I would love to see it continually walking. That. Did I just hear a switch? Did I just hear a light switch? Maybe I did. I don't know. Oh, not a Galu. It hasn't tried to hunt us. So that would remove the Galu from the equation for sure. Thank you, Mason. Yeah, Galu be gone. Jin Myling Obak. Oh, delicious. They're magically delicious. What's up, Gray? How are you? Notice the glass doors will keep the ghost from going to the living room if they're closed and you're out of sight. Will keep the ghost going from in the living room? I don't know about keeping it from going into the living room entirely. But it doesn't see you through the glass doors. You mean like it never wanders into this room? let's see. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I don't know how long that would take to check that. We could try. Jin Myling Obake. I've got a flashlight here to do a test for a Myling as well. So we put this bad boy like right chomp. Now we wait. You better stay out. Been getting some good time in the game. Almost Prestige 4. Nice. What is the test for the Myling? Flashlight. The Myling's footsteps are quieter than the other ghosts. So the way that I always like to check for it is when you're on the same floor, you get away from the ghost and you put a flashlight on the ground with it on. Now, the Myling, you will not hear the footsteps of the Myling until it's close enough, basically within a meter, until it's close enough to make this blink. The other ghosts, you will hear the footsteps without the blinking because the footsteps are louder. That is very, very interesting. And I think the extra interesting part here is it ate that one, not this one. What the hell is... Okay. So it's moved again. Is it just this room? Yes. Okay. What the f... Pinkish, thank you for the 12 months. Welcome in, dude. Thank you for the prime. What the hell? Room changes is going to be 0. I'd be a little mad. What ghost? Jin, kind of, because I don't think it's kicked the... Bro, you are atrocious. Come here, idiot. Yeah, you. Get your little footsteps out of here, you jerkhole. I heard a speed up. Is that a Myling? Lady. Okay. Oh, now we want to be all active. Absolute jerkhole, dude. All right, let's try it over here. Now, I do have hiding in here, actually. Hold on. I do have the kitty cat hiding. By the way, they opened the safe so people would shut up. Lady, seriously. What is going on? Leave me alone. She's such a bully. Yeah, the safe is open now. Yeah, go back to your room, jerk. Oh my god. What the f... At least we know the cat wasn't in the safe. Go away, ghost. You're scared the kitty. What the shit? It just turned on something electronic. I just heard it. Oh, if it was right, like if I walked in and it was acting the way it's acting right now, 100% would have thought this was a stalking ghost. 100%. Thank you, Mason. Appreciate it, man. Kind of watching the front door right now for the hunt. Gotta go. Bro. You are just an anus. A heinous anus. My God. Did she leave? I'm not even sold she left. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Oh my God, my breath is here because she won't stop leaving this area. Lots of stuff, no footies. Yeah, we're gonna go hide with the cat. You suck. Kitty, save us. The cat will protect us. We're fine. Thank you, kitty. I think it's a Myling. For sure. So, Ghosty, I can't hear the footsteps at all. Could I sit there and watch it to see if it shapeshifts? Yes, but it's left UV every time we've checked, and it's not sprinting like a Jinn, so I don't think so. The meow right during the hunt makes you feel a little warmer inside, you know? Good God, get me out. That ghost was a psychopath. It went from literally 0 to 100. It was doing nothing. And then all of a sudden it said, okay, and started doing everything. Why?
Welcome back. I've got some
How many times how many times do we think the ghost changed his favorite room? Watch it be like 3. What are the odds that it is way higher than that? Seven, 9, 4, 5, 13. It felt like 13, didn't it? Ooh, level 99. We're almost level 100. I call bullshit. 3 room changes. So that thing went from the basement to the hallway to the kitchen, and that was it. Yeah, right. All 9 events happened within like a minute of each other, 2 minutes of each other. I knew it was gonna be something stupid. I knew it was gonna be something dumb. Ay. Wow, what a ghost. Yeah, right. No abilities. Well, no, there's not going to be anything for it to use. Yeah. What's your review of Grain Rot last night? I feel like I need to play it more to give it a fair review. But as of right now, it was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun. The graphics are great. Gameplay, great. The monsters, great. I almost wish that there was more fear in that game. But it gives sort of that like Repo-esque style game where it's an extraction game where you have to collect stuff. You have to get a certain amount of money, like certain amount of dollars, whatever, and then you can upgrade. What's cool about it though, is that the way you get better stats in the game is by upgrading your base. So literally upgrading different rooms within your base. That's how you get more stamina, more health, more everything. Fear how? Just when you're walking around, just like the I don't know, just the vibe when you're walking around. Maybe we didn't have as much fear because we were just dumb as it being very stupid and we were just laughing a lot at a lot of stuff. Yeah. messed up my drops. Oh no. Hopefully you can fix it. All right. That's going to be the last one for the day. Friends, YouTube, I'm going to end it there, and then we're going to go find someone to raid. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let us go find a friendo. Yeah. Stop raids for the next hour, so that way we don't get it by that. You just got here. Well, that's not my fault. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you want me to do? And we don't have a soda ode for the next stream, which is lovely. How many prestiges does Faz have? 4,000. 4,000. All right, mute this, mute that. No, thank you guys so much. If you guys aren't in the Discord already, the Discord link is in chat with the rest of the socials and all the stuffs, all the things. Let us go raid. You know what? Speaking of Grain Rot, let's go raid a friend who's playing Grain Rot right now. How about that? If you guys haven't seen the game yet, I'll introduce you guys. Yeah. Yeah, there's 4,000 prestiges because they basically want it to be endless. Yeah. Next stream is, the next stream is going to be tomorrow. Yep. It'll be tomorrow. I'll be doing the weekly, and then after the weekly, we'll see what happens after that. I'm not 100% what we're doing yet. Hard to say with the weekly what we're going to end up doing. But our friendo is playing Grain Rot right now. So if you guys haven't seen that game yet, I played it yesterday for the first time. Had a blast playing with Mel and Rayvan and Doc. So I'll take you that way. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for the subs and the biddies. I appreciate you. Working our way towards the 3/4 for the monthly goal. Like I said, if we hit the monthly goal before like halfway through the month, we'll do the viewer games this month. I'm not going to wait till next month. We'll literally just plan a day shortly after and do them this month. I think that's going to be the plan. Thank you, Nocturne. My son has one child has a show tonight, which we're going next weekend, but then the other child has a basketball game tonight. So all kinds of stuff is going on. So we are going to go to see the son. We're going to go see the middle child play his basketball game tonight. I'm excited for it. He has so much fun. He loves it to death. Now, if you guys haven't seen this yet, this game is great. You also have the ability to earn drops with it too. So there's in-game items that you can get with the Grain Rot game. So you literally can earn a gold pot hat and then also a gold foil hat with literally just watch time. Just watching the stream. So I'll take you that way so you can start earning it now. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for a great stream. You guys are amazing. I will see you tomorrow for more fun stuff and things. Peace.